This is your election headquarters, and we are bringing you details, updates on everything happening leading to December 7th post. It is 93 days to the elections, and so wherever you are, tune in. This morning, we're going to have a conversation with the leader and founder of the All People's Congress, Hassan Ayariga. And yesterday, he selected Reverend Dr. Samuel Mensah as his running mate for the 2024 election. So we're going to talk about the candidacy, preparedness to wrestle power from the duopoly, the NDC and the MPP, and all things important. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation this morning. You're welcome to the AM show. Good
morning, and thank you for having me. You look good.
Thank you. And you don't look bad yourself. I like the combination of the colors.
Thank you. It was done by my wife.
Oh, great. And a belated birthday anniversary to you. Yesterday was your birthday.
I didn't get my cake from your office.
I'm asking them to bring it. They'll bring it on the set.
They should. They should, so that we cut the cake right here. Anyway, so, thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes, it's good to have you. It's 93 days to the December 7th elections. Yesterday, you unveiled your running mate. Let's start with a wrap of how you're preparing for the December 7th elections.
Good. After the running mate program yesterday, we are scheduled to submit our forms and file on the 9th of September. That's coming Monday at 11 a.m.
Okay.
And then after 11 a.m. submission, the next program will be on Sunday. That will be the 15th of September, where we intend to launch the Manifesto of Hope, Nation's Manifesto.
That's the title of your manifesto, the Manifesto of Hope.
Yes.
The Nation's Manifesto.
The Nation's Manifesto.
Okay.
And that is going to talk about the solutions that we find ourselves, the way out where we are today, how we should come out of our debt stock, which is the most important thing, how to create jobs, how to make Ghanaian economy a production, manufacturing, and industrial hub. You cannot jump to industries when you don't have a manufacturing and a production hub. And then how we're going to increase the productivity and then the economic lockdown. That is the major policy, economic lockdown. That will be explained further when we are launching the manifesto and many other policies. We have almost 61 policies. It's a circle. The 61 policies, because of where we find ourselves today, one policy alone cannot change the future of our economy. 24-hour economy is good, but it falls under our 30 policy, number 30.
Okay.
Digitalization is good, but it's under our e-governance. Digitalization should not be a policy. It's under the policy of our e-governance.
Okay.
So these policies are what we intend. We are not making promises. I've always said, promises have failed Ghanaians over the years. We need to begin to build some kind of policies and foundations right from where we are today, so that after the 4 years of Hassan Ayariga's leadership, I don't have to be president.
Okay, we will discuss this. We'll get surgical with all these assertions, but you made some remarks yesterday at the unveiling of your running mate. And so let's listen to some of the things you said, and then we'll come back and discuss.
When we refuse to make changes, then we are endorsing corruption. We're endorsing mismanagement. We're endorsing bad leadership. We have seen the leadership of both parties, the NDC and the MPP. They are not new to us. We know them. 16 years each of the NDC and 16 of the MPP. And we've been crying for change. The Ghanaian people have been crying for change. Every day you keep saying you want to change, but you are adamant in making a change. Because you say that when you vote, the other political parties, they are not going to win. But I disagree with that. I disagree. It is only when you make that change that the other political parties will win. We cannot sit down and fold our arms and agree and allow certain groups of people and crop of leadership to mismanage our country, and then we sit aloof and say we are tired. We don't want to see them. We don't want to vote them. But you don't come out to vote. So their members, their die-hard members, will come out and vote for them to win. They will get a leader that you don't want. They will vote a leader that you don't want to have, because you have refused to make that change. we're over 70 million voters. But when we go to the polls, we record 12 million. What it means is that over 5 million Ghanaians do not vote, or probably are not interested in voting for NDC or MPP. But we, the APC, we are offering ourselves to the 7 million Ghanaians who do not want to vote for NDC and MPP. Make us the third force, because we are the third force for you. You can sit down and think that the third force must come automatically. The third force can only come when you make that decision. When you Ghanaians make that decision. We have made ours. It is the turn for you, your turn to make that decision. But every time we keep saying, "Oh, if I vote for Hassan Ayariga, I'm wasting my vote." Says who? If you vote for Hassan Ayariga and the APC, the NDC will not win and the MPP will also not win.
So there you have it. You know, the interesting thing about all that we heard right now is that call on Ghanaians that if we claim we want to break away from the duopoly, or if we say that we want something different, and yet we are afraid to spoil our votes, we will never really make any significant headway. Now, and you say that we need a third force.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said, you know, that in fact we do need to break away from the duopoly. Last election, you made just about 0.5%, about 7,000 thereabouts votes out of the total vote cast, right? And this year, I'm wondering, what are you doing differently? You talked about in the beginning your 61 policies. What is the central message of your campaign for this year?
A central message for this campaign is the most important one: the economic lockdown. To make
economic lockdown. Okay.
The economic
lockdown. We need to lock
and
down the economy. Tell me more.
When we lock down the economy, we're going to empower our nation, our youth. We're going to increase productivity, manufacturing, and industrialization. We're going to be self-sufficient. We're going to create jobs 24 hours. We're going to run the country 24 hours, 3-shift system. Because for production, 8 hours for production, 8 hours for manufacturing, and 8 hours for industrialization. We have 24-hour vibrant economy building. But if we keep importing, we can't produce, we can't create jobs. Our city will depreciate. Everything will just be at the way it is. But we have to begin to think, change our mindset, to believe that there's no country except Ghana, and that is ours. And this is ours to protect, this is ours to grow, this is ours to build, this is ours to be patriotic citizens, and we must change our mindset towards that. And that economic lockdown entails all these things, and making sure that Ghana now has something to offer the world. We cannot be exporting our raw materials and taking finished goods from where we export our raw materials. It's unacceptable. Every country is producing, every country is manufacturing, every country is industrializing. And we are not an exception. We should begin to think differently, act differently, work differently, understand things differently. By locking down the economy, every Ghanaian will now begin to see the importance of his or her output and input into the country, building the input, her potential. We need that. We need this economic lockdown to stand on our feet, to build our country solely for Ghanaians, produce what we eat, consume what we eat, change our consumption pattern, and make sure that people begin to buy our product as well.
So I could argue that these are promises. This is
not a promise. If I look at the economy, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be a promise.
Hold for me.
Yes, please.
So these are the things you are saying that you want to do differently. Lock down the economy. But you also mentioned 24-hour economy, which is something we're familiar with from the camp of the NDC.
No, you cannot be familiar. That is in my manifesto than them.
Okay. But I'm saying the NDC's their campaign message right now, it's this 24-hour economy.
Yeah.
So, and he's also told us what he intends to do step by step. In the first 100 days, the NPP has also done that. If they are given the mandates, what they intend to do to actually execute all these plans and promises, ambitious as it may be, if you're giving that mandate, what is your first step or walk us through the first, second, and third steps that you intend to take to lock down the economy. What are you going to do? Actionable steps.
The first step is change of mindset.
How are you going to achieve that?
I'm going to engage the Ghanaian society, speak to them, let them understand that this is Ghana, and we Ghanaians must come first in everything we do. And we have to change our mindset in believing that Ghana is the only thing that we have. So change our mindset towards our attitude towards work, change our mindset towards the way we behave, change our mindset towards our jobs, how we're going to create jobs and build our country. When you engage the Ghanaian society and have that mindset change, it gives you the first opportunity to be able to move this country forward.
Mindset Without that change is not that easy.
It is easy.
It's like trying to reorient someone from the norm that they know,
Without
the person they
Without
are.
that.
No, I'm not arguing that it's not possible. I'm trying to probe to get to how you intend to achieve that.
Look, do you know that Ghanaians have the capacity to change this country when they come together? But because the government in power and previous government are corrupt, Ghanaians are not willing to be part of it. They are not willing to help, support in anything, because they cannot be using their resources, their money, their wealth, their energy in building a country where the leaders themselves are more corrupt than any other thing. So when corruption takes the center stage, nobody is willing to contribute anything or change his mind towards building the country. But when you have a president who is unique, who tells the people the way it is, inspire the people, let the people know that he is coming to serve them, not they serving him. Let the people know that there is not food like everyday table food for everyone. This is a center where we believe in an inclusive governance concept. Everybody is given job, not because you are an APC member, or because you voted for Hassan Ayariga, or you voted against Hassan Ayariga. You are going to be part of nation building because you are qualified, you are a citizen, you have the requisite knowledge and talent and skill to build our country. So we are looking for this group of Ghanaians, not APC members. So that mindset change, without the mindset change, we will suffer a lot of deficit in trying to implement any kind of policy. Until the Ghanaian society believe in the leader that they want, that this is the leader that is coming. And that is why in one of my presentations or my interviews, I said that President Mahama becomes president, the economy is going to be bad. Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia becoming president, the economy is going to be disastrous. Because that mindset of Ghanaians trusting in them is no more.
Okay.
It's no news that President Mahama is coming back. Ghanaians will feel like, oh, he's been president before. What are we going to do? They are adamant in anything. Bawumia comes, they say, oh, I mean, this guy has been saying a lot of things that we don't look at where the economy is. But Hassan Ayariga coming will, first of all, the mindset of Ghanaians is going to change automatically by the leadership or winning of Hassan Ayariga as president. Okay. They'll begin to say, this is a new man, this is a new party. Oh, let's see what he's coming to offer us.
And all this is in your manifesto of hope, the lockdown, economic lockdown, and you say the date is when, the 16th?
The economic lockdown is not the only policy.
No, that's the message.
That is one of the messages of the 16 points, 61 points.
And your manifesto is called the Manifesto of Hope, the nation's manifesto. And I'm just confirming the date that it is coming.
15th September, Sunday.
15th of September.
UPSC.
All right, we look forward to that. Now, you recently unveiled your running mate ahead of the elections. Can you tell us more about his qualities and why you chose this particular person? What's unique? What's his unique selling proposition?
First of all, we believe that in order for Ghanaians to change their mindset, they're always thinking about a third force. And they want a third force that is a united third force. That's what they've been talking about. We want the minority political parties and the minor, movements and groups and so-called independent candidates should all come together and build one force, one team, one party beside the NDC and the MPP. So we can have three parties going into the election, the NDC, the MPP, and the Alliance Party. We have started. We have reached out to many of the movements and groups. 3 of them joined us so far. Others are coming on board. And out of the 3, we've decided that we're going to give them the opportunity. I am not a greedy person. I'm not a kind of leader who just believes in myself alone. I believe in inclusive governance and leadership. So we decided that, okay, I am a flag bearer already, going into the 24. They are movement and group. He's an independent candidate. 3 other independent candidates. So let's pick one of them as the running mate to succeed the old running mate, so that we can, from the one that we have in 2020, so he is a party member, but these ones are not party members. They are alliance, they are groups coming. So we want to have the collaboration of the three, in fact, the three of their movement coming to collaborate with the APC. So what you are seeing is not APC running mate. The man you are seeing is an independent presidential candidate, an economist, a socialist, a lecturer, a reverend leader, a good Christian who has come to join with his team. He's not coming alone. He's coming with 3 different movements to join the APC. So the APC is unique now with about 4 different movements joining it.
All right.
So our future votes is not going to be like the previous one that you see. And we are working towards getting other minority parties
to join you.
To join us.
Why don't you all, and I was just asking Bridget Jagwanuku that same question, why don't you all come together as one and then rally behind one person? Because that gives you, more power than as individual minority parties.
I've tried that with them. I've tried that with 10 political parties. I've had meetings in my house, in different hotels, in my office with them for us to come together and build one party. And this was the idea. I said, instead of we all going to election with different political leaders, let's go 2 years before the election. This is when I started, way back in 2022. I told them, elect your flag bearers. From now, bring 10 different flag bearers. APC flag bearer, GUM flag bearer, LPG flag bearer, PNC flag bearer, CPP flag bearer, GNCP flag bearer, NDP, all the 10 parties. I have a list of the framework. And then when we elect all these flag bearers, a year and a half before the elections, we go into a Congress, giving each party 1,000 voting capacity at the Congress to elect one from the 10 flag bearers. And that would have given us the unique transformation and unity we're looking for.
So what was the challenge? Why couldn't that
Till as we sit now, the only minority political parties among them is APC that elected their flag bearer.
Okay.
About in March. The CPP did theirs yesterday. Some are doing theirs today. How can we be this serious?
I see the challenge. The biggest story in the country right now is how illegal mining activities are destroying our water bodies. And it's not just about leadership anymore. Citizens are devastated that Ghana Water Company, in fact, this morning I read an article on myjoy9.com that they might be soon supplying just 30% of water. How do you intend to tackle the menace of Galamsey as if you're given the mandate?
You want me to talk about my manifesto today?
I want you to tell me what you think you do differently.
Because what I'm going to do differently is going to be out of my manifesto.
So just give us a scoop. Because you are aspiring to be a president, and that's the biggest problem we have right now.
I want you to know that under my leadership, there won't be anything called Galamsey.
How would you achieve that?
I am the president of the Republic of Ghana. Gold mining is for the government, it's not for private sector, under my leadership. In the past, Gold Coast, mining was solely mined by Ghana government. And that was why we were called the Gold Coast. We had mining deposits, and gold deposit, we have reserves. Today, we don't have that anymore. And that made us rich. Now we have reduced our reserve and given it out to foreigners. And they are the ones destroying the water bodies. We cannot control our youth. And because we cannot create jobs and train them, skill training and other training, they are on the street mining in what we call Galamsey. The wealth and sovereignty of Ghana include mining, include the gold deposit, include the oil deposit. That is the property of the state and the government of Ghana. And that should be solely and only managed by the state and the Republic of Ghana, and not any other individual. There are certain aspects you can go and do business. Under my leadership, as the President of the Republic of Ghana, you cannot touch our mining deposits. You cannot touch our oil deposit. Government is the only authority that has the power to mind.
So you're talking about stricter regulations?
Changing the regulations, changing the, I mean,
or
this country,
stricter enforcement of already existing regulations?
All these
because we have the laws.
All these galamseys, guys, we are going to put them under a mining institution training skills, where they will now go and train and learn how to mine. And government will employ them. And they'll be part of government labor in mining in various aspects. So I don't want to talk much. I don't want you to. My manifesto will be going out.
Yes, we are looking forward to that. But I mean, it's the season. Everybody's talking about what they want to do.
The manifesto will be going out.
The onus is on us as citizens to absorb these promises so that we decide who to vote for.
Look at what is happening to water bodies.
Now, you also mentioned youth unemployment, and you said that's why the youth are out there involved in Galamsey. We know that nearly 2 million young people are neither in employment, in any skill training. And so, yes, like you said, they are involved in Galamsey. How do you...
betting.
Well, I heard you say that, I think yesterday I was listening to you, that betting is an addiction, and your daughter wouldn't want to get into betting.
Not at all.
How are you going to change the status quo about betting, unemployment? Just briefly, and then we get into what...
When you spend so much money in corruption and wastage and mismanagement, your focus is no more on the empowerment of your young people, their lifestyle, their training, and where you want them to be. So you desert them, and when you desert them, where do you think they're going to go? When you pour water, or when you don't find way for water, it takes any route, it goes anywhere. It can flood anywhere. And we've been having, sometimes we don't learn from the mistakes. Things happen for us to have a different mindset of how to handle it, but we don't. So the youth of this country do not have jobs. They are not properly trained. The Ghanaians are not interested in even creating, the leaders are not interested in creating avenues, or enabling environment for them to thrive. So they are anyhow. Under the APC, Ghanaian young men and women will not come out of school and be looking for a job. It's under my policy. I would tell you guys this on the 15th, how we intend to do that. No student in Ghana, no graduate in any of the University of Ghana will be scouting looking for a job out there. Before level 300, level 400.
And you're going to achieve this how?
Planning. We have a national development plan that you want me to say everything, but I'm going to say a little of it. We have a national development plan that will be captured and be drafted based on our national database. So we have a national database policy that is going to capture every Ghanaian, every details of everybody, where you work, whether you're a worker or you're not, whether you are you have home or you're unemployed, and what do you call homeless, or what do you do, your salary, your income. You, for instance, all we need to start with is your unique identification, which is your mobile phone number. The first unique identification of everybody. We're going to start with your mobile phone, because you cannot change. Nobody has two numbers.
What about the Ghana card?
The Ghana card.
You can have more than one phone number.
Yes, it will be keyed in.
Okay.
But it's unique. Whether you have 10 phone numbers, it's unique to you. Nobody has same phone numbers with another person.
Okay.
So in the details, your phone number comes, your information, your facials comes, your home address will be captured.
Isn't that what the Ghana card is already doing?
The Ghana card is just a card that has been ruled out just to change our voting pattern and allow us to do certain. What we are doing is a data. It's not a card.
Okay.
There's difference between data and card. We are capturing data. Ghana card is going to be part of the little data we are going to capture from. But data is different. When you don't have data, you don't know what you're doing. Because in this environment called Joy News, there should be a data of every worker keyed into the system. Their salary structures, their telephone numbers, their home address, their facial recognition and pictures of everything, their, fingerprints. All this will be captured. Even blood sample under the data will be captured.
Blood sample?
Yes. Blood sample.
That's ambitious. But
But when you're serious, you achieve.
Yeah.
When you're serious in wanting to do things,
yeah,
you will do it.
Okay. So yes, I see the ambition there. But we know that smaller parties have had challenges competing against the NDC and the MPP in the past, 32 years. And it's not just about resource mobilization. It's like you said yesterday, it's also because the people do not want to spoil their votes.
Yeah.
How do you intend to change that? Because you sound like you have a lot you can do for the country. How do you ensure that you change the mindsets that you want to change when you are given the mandates? How do you do it now to give you the power and the authority to do it on a larger scale?
First of all, on the 15th of September, when we are going to launch the manifesto, we will tell the Ghanaian people how we intend to change Ghana from where it is today to where we intend to go. And that will happen in less than 4 years. And I don't want to be president for 8 years. It's a waste of my time.
Hey.
No, it's really a waste of my time.
Okay.
I mean, what is there after you have put up the institutions and structures in place?
You think you can do all that needs to be done
It's because we don't work. We see the magnitude of the work. It's because the politicians themselves come into office and don't do anything. The work is much. But I tell you, Ghana is just 30 million people with just 16 regions. And if we want to really work, 1 year we should reach out to everybody and see how everybody is faring, how everyone is living, how we can support everyone, how we can share the national cake to reach everyone, how we can create jobs for every Ghanaian citizen to be part of the national cake, how we can train, give skill training and entrepreneurship to young women who do not have jobs. We cannot abandon people because they've not gone to school. We'll give them skill training so that they become part of the work. Everybody will be trained in this country. We must begin to work 24 hours around the clock, 3-shift system, every day, every night. We cannot sit down and sleep 16 hours and want to be economically independent.
Well, I don't think the youth in particular are sleeping. It's just
they are.
They're engaged.
The system allows them to sleep because the system says only 8 hours a day.
I don't think Ghanaian youth are lazy.
I'm not saying they're lazy.
So they're sleeping.
A nation that sleeps more than it works cannot be economically independent.
Right. Let's talk about the Electoral Commission, and they've come under scrutiny.
You haven't finished answering one of your questions. You said, how do I intend
to change the
minority parties?
I seem to be racing against time because we have it.
So go to the Electoral Commission.
I do want to get that
go to
before
the Electoral Commission.
How do you intend to change the mindset?
We intend to call on Ghanaians. The voter apathy in Ghana is increasing by the day because of the failure of NDC and MPP, the mismanagement and corruption scandals of the NDC and MPP. Ghanaians are refusing to vote. They don't want to vote, even though they go and register. The huge chunk of Ghanaians who do not want to vote is alarming, and it's going high every day, and it's going to increase up to 7 million. APC and Hassan Ayariga is targeting these citizens who are adamant in voting. They are the third force. There's no third force. The third force is the ability to make a change and vote for a different political party. That makes a third force. So we are going to call on them, wherever they are, whatever they are thinking, whatever they are doing, do not sit in your comfort zone and expect Ghana to change. Change is a key to new life, and we must make that change. And when we begin to believe that if we want new life, then we must make a change. We cannot want new life without making a change. If you recycle rubber, continues to be rubber. Recycle metal is continuing to be metal. If you want plastic, stay with the rubber. If you want metal, stay. But if you want a change of transformation and unity, go straight to Hassan Ayariga and the APC. And you will see tremendous improvement in your life, that of your children, that of your family. So a vote for Hassan Ayariga is a vote for change of your life and that of your family. This
submission begs the question, what would be considered success for you in the December 7 election? Is it that when you, one, increase the numbers that you garnered, the total vote you got in last election year? Is it when you change the minds of those who are apathetic towards the elections? Or is it when you actually tip the scales in a very significant way? What would you consider a success?
I would consider success if Ghanaians make the right change. That is number one. I would consider success if leaders of political parties begin to think differently towards their country and their people and their nation. I might not be the only one to change that, but when we all begin to think like the way Hassan Ayariga thinks, that is for me success.
Okay. So not necessarily to make it to the Flagstaff House this time? Because there are more opportunities.
I can make it to the Flagstaff if the Ghanaian people give me the opportunity. But the point of the matter is that if the NDC and MPP and other leaders were patriotic citizens and managing Ghana the way I want, or the way all of you want, I don't think I'll be running for president.
Okay.
Because there's nothing for me there.
Okay. So the question I wanted to ask is that the EC has come under scrutiny about their ability to deliver credible, free and fair elections. The integrity of the Electoral Commission have come under question in the face of the voter exhibition exercise that ended with some issues that came out about voter transfers without the knowledge of the people involved and all that. How confident are you as a flag bearer, presidential candidate?
I can accept the faults.
In the EC.
I can accept the mistakes because I know that they don't have a proper data system in this country. So like what I'm trying to put out. If we are having what I have, I don't think the EC will be finding challenges. And no doubt, they will definitely find challenges. Nobody is going to be perfect with such a system. Nobody. No.
So you agree with Dr. Bosman Asari that it was an honest mistake?
It was an honest mistake. I didn't hear him. I didn't listen to him. Okay. I'm telling you from a patriotic citizen's view and somebody who understands governance, political issues, governance issues, and even electoral commissions issues. We have failed systems. And these failed systems are not guaranteed and cannot guarantee us to have a perfect system.
Okay. If, be that as it may, now the NDC and in fact some other parties have joined the call for an external forensic audit into the register, the provisional register, and a re-exhibition of it before we go into the, the December 7 polls. Now that you are saying it's an honest mistake, do you think that that's something we should be doing?
It's not a bad call.
So you
doing the check and
that
balances.
we
can do that. I mean, we have to work in unity. We have to find a way of building this country together. We cannot just blame the EC for wrongdoings. We should blame ourselves also for not making sure that they do the right thing.
Now, some critics have questioned your seriousness as a political party and presidential candidate hopeful.
Yeah.
They think that your candidacy is more a business strategy than a presidential aspiration, in that you're a businessman and to be seen as someone who wants to make it to the Flagstaff House and change the status quo of the country benefits you as a businessman more than what the actual intent is to get to the Flagstaff House at seat of the president and make some change. What's your response to those who say that?
Successful man, and I've achieved more than Ghana has achieved.
You've achieved more than the whole country has achieved.
Yes, at my age.
Okay.
At my age, what I've achieved for myself, if Ghana could do that, I think we will not be running for president. So as a businessman, I know how to do business.
So is this really a business strategy?
It's not a business strategy. It's a kind of leadership from my business perspective that I'm going to change the Ghanaian society using my knowledge, experience, wisdom from that business field to change Ghana. Ghana is a business country. We're not supposed to be dependent. We have resources that we can use to do businesses. We have resources that we can trade with other nations. We have resources that we can be rich. When we use them judiciously, we will be rich. But when you have, the Bible says that lack of vision, my people perish. When you have leaders who have no vision, who do not understand the status quo, exactly, we'll be going to IMF 17 times. As a businessman, you can go and check my record. I have never, ever been to the bank to borrow. Never in my life. So as a leader of the political party, I don't think if I am president of the Republic of Ghana, I'll be going to IMF. I will have so much resources as a nation. My people will have wealth that they cannot imagine. Ghana is a blessed nation with so many mineral resources, gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese. Mention, how can we be poor?
Hassan Ayariga, if you don't win this election, would you continue your fight against all the failures of this country as a whole? And what would you be doing differently?
If I don't win this election, whoever wins, I'll be the consultant for the nation. But I'm going to win. But I'm going to win. I am telling Ghanaians to make that change and make me the president. Okay. But in an unlikelihood, I don't become president. I'll be consultant for the Ghanaian government.
A consultant
yes.
for the Ghanaian government?
Yes. an inclusive consultant, so that we run this country together. I don't want a position, but I want to consult for government in so many aspects of running this country. I cannot waste my talent. I cannot waste my knowledge. I cannot waste my experience.
Would you say your electioneering your campaign activities would, position you in a place where the president can actually the government can actually look to you for those consultancy services?
This is a country we should build together. And where I sit, I speak with both presidents, former and current, in terms of governance issue. When I see something and it's wrong, I pick my phone and tell Mr. President, I think if we do this, I cannot say the many calls I have made and many things have changed. That is just between me.
And them?
And them. Whether President Mahama or whether President Akufo-Addo, I am a unifier. I'm a leader who believes in an inclusive governance concept. And I don't think because I sit on a different chair, I should not add my knowledge or my experience in building our country. It will be unfair to myself as a body, as a human being, and unfair to Ghanaians as a leader. So anytime I think that is something important, I reach out to both government, whether in John Mahama's time or in Akufo-Addo's time. This is me. And I think that if we all have that mindset, that we can run an inclusive governance without necessarily sabotaging each other and pulling each other down and calling each other names, we'll be in a better place. Look, where the NDC are today, they have leaders that are good. Where MPP is, they have also good leaders. But when we begin to see the value of each other, that the president is in power, and the former president is able to call the president and say, Mr. President, I want to meet with you. I want us to do A, B, C, and D. You are helping building your country, Ghana, and not destroying the MPP. But we like the issue of propaganda in this country. The propaganda is becoming too much.
So
we pull each other because we want to be. We can help each other and still win elections. I can come to the enemy's house and praise him and get his supporters to follow me. But if I go to the enemy's house and insult him, I'm getting more enemies.
Which is why you are not against any of the political parties.
I'm not against them.
In fact, you are All People's Party. You are
yes,
for
All People's Congress.
So let me ask then, would you say that your utterances, your campaign activities, and your relationship with the government and opposition positions you in a good place as a businessman?
It's not about business.
No, but you are first and foremost before a presidential candidate.
I don't run business. I don't do business.
Okay.
I don't do constructions. I don't do government contracts.
If someone asked for the source of your wealth, you say you're a businessman.
I am a businessman.
Right.
But
so I'm not saying that you're in business with government.
Yes.
I'm asking.
I am not running. I'm not like
man.
others who are running president because they want to go into business.
Okay.
I made this statement that now the presidency has become so muddy to the extent that everybody gets up and when he has some coins, he calls himself an independent candidate. He calls himself a movement. He wants to run for president. Money cannot determine who runs president. And that is why I'm angry with the EC. When they made the filing fee at 100,000 Ghana cedis, I called them and said, look, where I sit, I'm looking at the hardship of the Ghanaian people, the suffering of the Ghanaian people. It doesn't matter. But we cannot be selling our country to the highest bidder. If we continue to raise filing fees this much, one day we'll have the whites who have naturalized that I will come to the policy of my passport and it will.
We just have a few minutes to
so
go.
It will come to a stage where the whites, Ghanaian whites, boys and girls, will form a party and sponsor a white man who holds a Ghanaian passport to become the president of the Republic of Ghana. Because we are selling it to the highest bidder. And we cannot continue to monetize our elections and democracy. Democracy in Ghana is now for sale. The highest, those who have more money will get more votes. So we are now voting for people with more money, the more brains.
Okay, so final bit before.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got it.
You are voting for people with what?
Final bit before we go. How would you assess this? Not not just this current administration, but the previous one and this one. I mean, it's always been between the two of them. How do you assess the fight against corruption? A lot of stakeholders have said that the #1 problem with this country is a lack of will to fight. Yes,
and
corruption.
When I become president, they should be careful because many people go to jail.
So how would you assess?
Assessing them is that they are the corrupt ones.
On a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale,
no, let me tell you something. Everybody in Ghana is almost corrupt. 90% of Ghanaians are now corrupt, including the woman in the market, including the filling station owner. Go and buy fuel and see. Instead of them giving you 4.5 liters, they give you 3 liters. They adjust there. So assessing them in corruption, I don't know, just people, can we even assess them? But the fair is that I don't see anybody fighting corruption under both leadership. They're just talking about it. Those under the influence of circumstance get themselves in trouble. But in actual sense, if we want to fight corruption, the institutions to fight corruption have not been put in place. Okay,
and that there is the founder and the flag bearer of the All People's Congress, Hassan Ayariga. Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to your manifesto launch on the 15th of September. Many thanks for your time.
Many thanks to you.